result in obtaining still more false images which do not only rob them of their work, but imprison them from realizing their dreams. So how can the youth free themselves of these shackles or bonds that they find themselves in?
Okay, so I think you are making a connection with the God factor to another thing I had started. Basically, if you realize, I was talking about the blessings. That was on a different chapter. That was in a different chapter. Yes, that was in a different chapter. That was chapter 2. And what I'm looking at is when I say, so you say God bless our homeland. Okay, so what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the blessings we have. Okay, we say God bless us. And interestingly enough, okay, typically of me, I looked at the blessings by analyzing the colors of the national flag. That's something that, I mean, I had to look at it. Now, if you look at the blessings, you have the red, gold, green, and things like that. So I tried to write out of the colors and explain what that means. Now, sometimes what we need is a sacrifice to let go. So in this particular thing you're referring to, I was making reference to people's assuming certain roles which actually are false roles. Okay, and my point is that to be able to move or to wake up, you have to let go of some of these roles. It also comes after an anecdote that I used. So that's basically the point I'm making there. I don't know how best you can put that in, but I made an anecdote there referring to a lion who actually thought of itself as a sheep. Do you understand? So because it had been brought up by sheep. And so when it got to the realization that it was a lion, that totally changed things. So it was a false image the lion thought of, the sheep lion thought of itself, but in essence was a lion. So that's another angle that I took. So in there, people, a lot of us young people, have different, we've come up with different ideologies about ourselves. We've acquired certain images which really are not who we are. Basically, we are walking on certain crutches without being critical about what these crutches are. So that's the point I'm making. So how do you let go of these mental shackles? How do we let go of some of these false images that we have? It's the same thing with this country. This country has actually acquired a lot of false images, like it or not. I mean, Ghana is seen as one of the hubs for cocaine and things like that, and narcotics. And these are false images. You understand? These are images we acquire, but they are false. You have to let go of them. It's just like the whole thing. In the same way, we have certain things. We tend, this may be very controversial, and I'm going to say it anyways, we tend to believe that we are very peaceful people. Okay, Ghana is a very peaceful, but I think that's quite a false. It's an illusion, because if you look at the tribal tension that goes on among us, you'll be amazed that for so long we haven't really changed. When we talk about things happening in Ghana, you're talking about the north and things like that. I'm telling you, we are sitting on time bombs elsewhere. There are places in the water region, they are supposed to be celebrating the same festival, but they are celebrating it at different times, the same festival. You go to places in the central region, Awutu area, you go to certain places in Cape Coast, these chieftaincy problems all over the place. And we say what? We are peaceful people.
So are we living a lie?
I think it's an illusion. So these are some of the things. You may not like it, but for me, it's just like a young person growing up to think of himself or herself as something that she's not. Okay, you are a lion. Okay, and you're thinking of yourself as a sheep. So wake up and be a lion. Okay, and that for me is some of the things. As young people, we've come to buy a lot of things. Okay, we've come to believe in a lot of things. Some of them are toxic, really. Some of them are probably toxic to our beliefs. I mean, there are things that will not help us. Sometimes our schooling system alone, I mean, damages our imaginative abilities. Sorry to say that.
Just a whole new thing.
Yes, I mean, because